It's so cringy.
Look at us, we're very wealthy. Don't we look great? Admire us.
She essentially took a roller coaster ride.
Katy Perry is in complete meltdown after her groundbreaking 11-minute space trip, where she apparently discovered the entire cosmos. No big deal, right? But Joe Rogan and the entire internet are having a field day, completely ignoring her profound new understanding of the universe.
We are the Taking Up Space crew. There's 6 of us, all women. It's historical.
While Katy thought she was having a spiritual breakthrough, the rest of the world is laughing at her existential crisis in zero gravity. What happens when a pop princess decides to flirt with the final frontier? Apparently, total system failure.
It's the most amazing feat ever for mankind. Womankind.
Katy Perry, the queen of candy-colored wigs and bubblegum pop anthems, somehow ended up trading her glittery microphones for a full-on spacesuit. Yeah, you heard that right. A spacesuit.
The 11-minute space flight that was touted as some kind of divine feminine gift to humanity.
It wasn't some sci-fi music video, and it wasn't a photo shoot. It was a real, actual ride to the edge of space with one of those flashy private aerospace companies trying to sell space tourism to billionaires. Everything was supposed to be smooth. A quick launch, a few breathtaking selfies with Earth in the background, maybe a teary caption about feeling small in the vastness of the cosmos. Instead, it spiraled into absolute chaos.
Well, it was very profound. I don't know if you've seen Katy Perry talk about it, but she's basically a guru now.
Joe Rogan, because who else, dropped a bombshell teaser clip on his podcast, hinting that Katy completely lost it mid-flight.
Their message for women was take up space. You guys are taking up too much space already.
We're talking oxygen masks dangling, Katy clawing at the window like she was starring in a zero-gravity horror movie. No backup vocals, no glam squad, just pure primal panic 30,000 feet above her comfort zone.
But if Katy Perry started singing and I was trapped in the vacuum of space, you better believe I'd find a way to end it.
Within minutes, the internet caught fire. Memes flooded X and TikTok. Some blamed the altitude. Others said maybe she looked too deep into the void and the void looked back. One genius even posted, "One too many glow sticks, and now she's trying to crowd surf the stratosphere." But honestly, if you've been paying attention, the signs were all there. Katy hasn't exactly been subtle lately.
Let's not minimize this. Let's celebrate female astronauts.
That's the other thing. There has been female astronauts.
For months, she's been dropping cryptic hints about transcendence, ascension, and breaking earthly limits.
Taking up space!
Interviews got weirder. Instagram captions got weirder. Ascending to new frequencies, she posted just 2 weeks before liftoff. The universe is calling, she teased, with a suspicious number of alien emojis.
That space mission this morning, that's end time shit. Like, this is beyond parody. For what was the marketing there? And then to try to make it like, I'm disgusted, literally.
At first, everyone thought it was just album promo. You know, standard pop star playbook. Pretend you're going through a cosmic spiritual awakening before dropping another single about boys and breakup texts. Classic. Turns out, she wasn't being metaphorical at all. Katy Perry was literally planning to yeet herself into orbit.
I've had so many people reach out to me and say, because you did it, it makes me think I can do it too.
And here's the thing, she's not alone. There's this new, slightly unhinged trend where celebrities are obsessed with being seen as otherworldly.
You know, it's so funny. She said she's heard from women and girls who have said to her, I didn't realize this is something I could do. You know how I know that didn't happen, Megan? Because it's not something they could do. Because they're not friends with Jeff Bezos, right?
It's not enough anymore to have Grammys, mansions, or private islands. No. The new clout currency is existential dread in zero gravity. Leonardo DiCaprio wants to orbit Mars. Kim Kardashian's apparently shopping for a spacesuit chic brand collab. And now Katy decided she needed a cosmic badge to stay relevant.
Lawrence Sanchez was also reduced to tears by the experience.
But space isn't a music video set. There's no retakes, no Photoshop, no glam squad touching up your lip gloss in microgravity.
6 women just did the same flight that... Yeah, he didn't. Oh, I just want to keep hugging you.
Once that rocket fires up, you're locked in a metal capsule, hurtling through the abyss with nothing but your own brain for company. And according to Joe Rogan, Katy's brain did not handle it well. Sources close to the situation said she started panicking just minutes after passing the Kármán line, the invisible boundary that separates Earth from space. One insider claimed she kept muttering about not feeling her body anymore and asking if Earth was still real. The pilot had to talk her down while dealing with turbulence and a cabin temperature spike. Meanwhile, Katy apparently tried to rip off parts of her helmet, convinced she was stuck in a simulation.
We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day.
When they finally landed, Katy didn't strut out all triumphant like an astronaut influencer. She had to be helped out of the capsule, white as a sheet, barely speaking. Her team immediately clamped down on leaks, but it was too late. The meltdown had already become legend. So yeah, the universe called. And Katy, well, she might have just sent it to voicemail.
The what it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that.
Katy Perry thought she was going on the ultimate wellness detox by taking a little trip to space. A very smart and totally reliable wellness guru had told her that floating in space would clear her mind, balance her chakras, and basically turn her into the happiest, calmest person ever. Sounds great, right? Well, Katy found a few interesting things instead.
Katy sang "What a Wonderful World."
She did?
Isn't that nice?
Oh, come on.
She sang "What a Wonderful World."
First, she found out that space isn't exactly a 5-star spa. It's cold, dark, and honestly, a little terrifying. Instead of relaxing, Katy spent most of her time staring out the window, realizing she was just a tiny, floating dot in a huge, endless universe. According to people on the trip, she kept whispering, "I feel like a grain of sand, but like in a bad way." Not exactly the peaceful moment she was hoping for.
Had I been one of the chosen few revolutionary women, I probably would have just jumped out and let the void of space either suck me in and destroy me, or just begun my descent to Earth at terminal velocity and probably caught fire on the way down.
Second, Katy discovered that space is terrible for your confidence. No matter how many hit songs you have or how famous you are on Earth, none of that matters when you're just another speck floating in the middle of nowhere.
I boarded a Boeing 727 aircraft called G-Force One and experienced what astronauts feel when they reach zero gravity.
Space doesn't care if you're a pop star. Space doesn't care about your Instagram followers. Space barely even cares that you exist.
Please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, no one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous or something that's lighthearted. There was nothing frivolous about what we did.
Next, Katy learned that detoxing in space basically means losing your grip on reality. She was promised spiritual healing. What she got was an intense identity crisis. One minute you're a global superstar, the next you're wondering if you're even real. Talk about a mood swing. Fourth, she found out that space retreats don't come with a snack bar or a calming yoga instructor. There was no green juice, no essential oils, and definitely no one to help her breathe through her little, cosmic panic attack. The crew tried to be supportive, but there's only so much you can do when someone's realizing their tiny place in the universe at 100,000 feet above Earth.
The montage of them about them.
And finally, Katy found out that trusting a random wellness guru with a cosmic detox plan might not be the best idea. Turns out, some problems can't be solved just by floating in the sky. Maybe next time, she'll stick to a weekend yoga class or a nice beach vacation where the only thing floating is a fruit smoothie in the pool.
Flynn,
I got you. With her daisy?
I got you, Flynn.
Katy's space trip was a detox, all right, just not the kind she was expecting. Instead of cleansing her soul, it made her question her whole existence. But hey, at least she found some very interesting life lessons among the stars.
Prior to going up, you said that you needed to go to space to heal. I know you're only a few minutes removed from this.
I feel super connected to love.
Goodness. I will never be the same.
Joe Rogan, mid-podcast, just absolutely losing it. He's laughing that classic Joe Rogan laugh. You know, the one where you can hear the chaos brewing. And he suddenly drops. I probably shouldn't say this, screw it. Katy Perry lost it out there. Cue entire internet collectively spitting out their drinks.
Goodness. I will never be the same.
Apparently, during some cosmic misadventure, Katy had what we'll politely call a full-throttle existential crisis.
I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me.
Flowers for me. I brought a daisy because I have so much love for my daughter Daisy, and I have so much love for Mother Earth.
According to Joe, she started screaming about seeing a giant owl god on Mars. Not a cute owl, not a chill owl, a giant owl god. Because obviously, when you're trapped in a glorified metal can, hurtling through the abyss of space, hallucinating ancient deity birds is just a Tuesday. Joe didn't stop there. He leaned right into it. He suggested Katy wasn't exactly mentally prepped for the reality of space travel. Celebs, he joked, act like they're booking a spa day. Cucumber slices over the eyes, ambient music, maybe a cute selfie for the gram.
If I can do this, I was telling these guys, I might even now get my ears pierced. I've never gotten my ears pierced.
Meanwhile, the real experience? It's existential terror in a tin can. AKA, staring into the infinite void and realizing you are one bad screw away from becoming a permanent satellite. Rogan basically said, if you're not ready to grapple with the universe yeeting you into oblivion, maybe stay on Earth where the worst thing you'll see is your Uber Eats driver taking a suspicious detour.
So we don't celebrate the people who do it as on a tourist trip 60 years later. We celebrate the people who were the first to do it. Gail doesn't want us to say that she took a ride, but that is in fact what she did. She took a ride on a remotely piloted craft.
Naturally, this triggered the conspiracy theorists who are always lurking 2 clicks away. Twitter exploded with takes like, was this a spontaneous celeb meltdown? Or did they just activate Project Stargate? Insert dramatic music here. Because clearly, when in doubt, blame secret government mind control experiments. It's tradition.
Olivia Wilde reposted an image of Katy Perry kissing the ground. She was acting like she got back from Apollo 13.
Now, here's where it gets even juicier. The supposed footage of Katy's Mars meltdown? Classified. As in, Area 51 interns couldn't even leak it if they tried classified. But of course, because the universe loves us, sources are already whispering about what's on that clip. Apparently it features Katy crying, belting out firework like her soul depended on it, and demanding an immediate one-way ticket back to Earth. Imagine ugly crying in zero gravity while singing your 2010 pop anthem. Truly cinema.
It's so much money to go to space. Yeah. There's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. What are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here?
The internet is divided, as usual. Some say it's a next-level PR stunt, because what better way to promote your upcoming galactic-themed album than literally having a public breakdown on Mars? Others swear this was no stunt. They're convinced Katy Perry is now permanently damaged, spiritually fried, and maybe sees owl gods every time she closes her eyes. Honestly, both options feel pretty on brand for 2025.
Earth looked so... it was so quiet. It was just quiet.
Meanwhile, the pop industry is out here pioneering new frontiers in desperate attention-seeking. Forget wild outfits or shock interviews. That's old school. Today's pop stars are leaving the actual planet just to stay in the headlines. Interdimensional marketing is officially the move now.
And now we're supposed to celebrate her crossing new barriers for women, meaning boinking a billionaire and getting a free ticket to space for 11 minutes.
Soon, it's going to be Dua Lipa spotted communicating with hyper-intelligent dolphins on Neptune, or Harry Styles caught in a time loop during black hole performance art piece. And you know what? We'll click. We'll always click. Because who wouldn't want to see a meltdown in space at this point?
And you know it's bad when other celebrities come out and mock you. Like that
Piling
almost,
on.
celebrity on celebrity violence almost never happens.
So, you know that feeling when you go on one little space adventure and suddenly forget how to function on Earth? Yeah, that's basically Katy Perry right now. After blasting off into the cosmos, our girl pulled the ultimate disappearing act. No concerts, no cryptic tweets, not even a dramatic wig snatch on Instagram. It's like she went to space. and just stayed emotionally orbiting somewhere out there.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space.
And listen, the tea is piping hot. Sources are whispering that Katy isn't just ghosting us for fun. Nope. Apparently, she's tucked away in some ultra-secret Swiss bunker, getting what they call quantum therapy and neural recalibration, which is basically just science-y sounding code for girl had a cosmic-level meltdown, and now she's getting her brain tuned like a busted guitar.
The reason that Katy Perry is not technically an astronaut right now is because none of the people in this capsule could actually operate anything. It was all being remotely controlled. So it was cool. They took a very, very expensive, very, very cool roller coaster ride.
Naturally, this led to the only logical next step. The internet collectively putting on their tinfoil hats and screaming, "Katy Perry is a clone!" Because obviously, if you vanish for a few weeks without posting a missing my cat story, you must have been her body snatched. Duh. Fast forward to her grand I'm totally fine guys return appearance. And let's just say, the vibes were off. Body language experts, aka YouTubers who watched One Psychology TikTok, have been analyzing every blink and eyebrow twitch, and they're all singing the same song. That's not the same woman. Her smile, too symmetrical. Her laugh, 2 microseconds too late. Her soul, suspiciously AMIA. Is it really Katy? Is it a hyper-realistic AI bot with a killer hairline? Is it just what happens when you see the entire universe and realize your biggest hit is about teenage dreams? We may never know, but one thing's for sure. Space changed her, or, at the very least, whoever came back wearing her face.
They added me to space. I'm bringing this. It was in my bag, and I was like on the subway, and I got the text, and they were like, "Do you want to go to space?" So,
okay, let's talk about the whole celebrity space tourism thing, because, newsflash, rich people are not emotionally equipped to meet the void of the infinite universe. Shocker, right? Turns out, if you spend your life worrying about red carpets and skincare serums, you might not be ready for the existential horror of staring into endless nothingness. Who knew?
I'm still stuck on the fact that Gayle King actually used the word astronauts. You are there on a vanity project of Jeff Bezos and his fiancée.
Word on the street is that Elon Musk himself allegedly pulled Katy aside before her big launch and gave her the most Elon warning ever. Space doesn't care about your aura, it'll eat your soul. Poetic, terrifying, and somehow very on-brand for a man who once named his child after a CAPTCHA test. And Katy wasn't the first to crack. Oh no. Remember that actor? You know that one? Who went up there, allegedly made direct eye contact with a fourth-dimensional being, and promptly retired to live in a yurt? Yeah, space tourism is basically turning into an involuntary psychological thriller. Black Mirror called, "They want their next episode back." Psychologists have even weighed in. Real ones this time, not just your cousin Chad who's very intuitive. And the consensus is simple. Our brains were not built for this. Floating above Earth with nothing between you and eternity but a glorified tin can? Staring at a planet that suddenly looks tiny and pointless while all your life decisions flash before your eyes? Yeah, that'll fry the old neurons faster than a Twitter scandal.
They got in their special Oscar de la Renta designed suits, laid down in a capsule, and came back in 10 minutes, you guys.
Space isn't like a yoga retreat where you come back refreshed and annoyingly centered. It's more like an all-expenses-paid ticket to your own mental breakdown. And for celebrities whose biggest prior crisis was a bad Met Gala outfit, this is some next-level trauma. So basically, if you were wondering if rich and famous people are somehow tougher, stronger, and more emotionally resilient than the rest of us when faced with the literal endless abyss of existence, the answer is a resounding nope.
They admired the universe, and what they were expecting was for us to admire the fact that they were rich enough and famous enough to have been granted this utterly, utterly vacuous experience from which they learned absolutely nothing.
The internet was not ready for what happened next. As news of Katy Perry's supposed space meltdown spread, social media turned it into a full-blown circus. Twitter especially wasted no time. Within hours, the platform was flooded with memes that ranged from mildly savage to absolutely brutal. One viral post showed Katy's panicked expression captioned, "When you realize the universe is indifferent to your Billboard hits." Somehow, in one sentence, Twitter managed to combine cosmic existential dread and pop culture pettiness. It was a masterpiece. Meanwhile, TikTok, never one to miss an opportunity for chaos, birthed a new viral sound. The clip? A sarcastic narrator declaring, "First pop star to leave Earth and still not find inner peace." The audio quickly became the background for thousands of videos, mostly teens lip-syncing while dramatically falling onto their beds or pretending to stare into the void. It was strangely fitting, and somehow made Katy's meltdown feel like just another Tuesday for Gen Z. As the memes multiplied and the conspiracy theories got weirder, people started asking a more serious question. Was this the end of Katy Perry's career as we knew it? Or was it the start of something even stranger? Depending on who you asked, it was either a full-on public breakdown, a genius marketing move, or some sort of cosmic awakening. Everyone had a theory, and none of them made complete sense. But honestly, that somehow felt right.
I don't think you can describe it, because, you know what I was saying, it was like quiet, but then also really alive.
Then, in true chaotic pop star fashion, Katy decided to fan the flames. Joe Rogan did a segment about her, of course, because it's practically a law at this point. He ended his discussion with the chilling line, "She came back, but I'm not sure it was her." It was the kind of thing that sounds deep if you don't think about it too hard. Naturally, it only fueled more speculation that Katy had seen something out there, something she wasn't supposed to see.
And I asked my team to poll, like, what did they do during their 2 days? Their tasks, they spent the past 2 days practicing how to get into and out of the New Shepard capsule.
And just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, Katy dropped a teaser for her new single. No warning, no context, just chaos. The cover art featured her in a cracked space helmet, tears streaming down her face with the caption, "I saw it all." It was dramatic. It was messy. It was absolutely perfect. Was she having a breakdown? Launching a new era? Both? Nobody knew. Everyone was too busy dissecting every pixel of the image, searching for hidden clues, like it was a Taylor Swift album drop. At the end of the day, maybe that was the point. Maybe Katy didn't melt down in space. Maybe she did exactly what every great pop star does, took her personal chaos and turned it into public spectacle. Maybe she didn't just leave Earth. Maybe she left the boring version of herself behind and came back ready to terrify us all. Or maybe, and this is entirely possible, she just had a really bad time floating around in a glorified tin can and decided to cash in on the memes before the internet moved on. Either way, one thing is for sure. Katy Perry didn't just survive her space trip. She turned it into a cultural moment, and in 2025, that's about as close to immortality as anyone can get. Want to know more about Katy's stunt? Like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single detail.